Most people think that you need money, contacts, or perfect looks to be a model. I started with none of that and still made it to Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Lakme Fashion Week, and to the biggest billboards of India. Hello everyone, I am Yuganshi, a fashion model based in India, and I'm here to tell you real behind the scenes of chasing your goals while the odds are stacked against you. A little backstory: I was a college student aiming for a government job as my parents wanted me to, until COVID flipped my life upside down. I always loved fashion but never thought of modeling because I never thought that I was pretty enough until I realized modeling was never about being pretty. It's about your unique facial features and your personality. Through Instagram, I was scouted by one of the leading agencies in India. When I started modeling, things were pretty tough for me initially because there was no content available on YouTube or on Instagram about how the industry works, what does the fair play looks like, how to spot the scams or the fake agencies, or how to spot the red flags when you're signing up with an agency, which made it pretty tough initially. And also to decide what steps to take next or whether I was in the right place or not. Since I didn't know a lot of things myself, talking to my parents about it was already tough, and I had to figure out so many things on my own. And now I'm here to share all those insights with you. So, whether you've just started or you're on your journey already, all this information will help you to navigate your own path and you won't miss out the right opportunities, hopefully. Number one is finding the right agency. An agency in modeling can make or break your career, especially during the initial years. An agency can make your journey much smoother, while freelancing can make it much harder to navigate and a little unsafe as well. The good part is you don't have to pay to any agency to join it. Agencies work with what you already have, like your face, features, body, talent, and your height. The standard height for women in modeling is from 5 feet 7 inches to 6 feet, and for men, it is from 5 feet 9 inches to 6 feet 4 inches. Age is also not an issue if your look is something that sets you apart. Agencies usually start by building your portfolio and then pitching it to the right brands, designers, runways, and also TV commercials. They also tell you what to improve along with handling the business side of modeling, like budgeting, negotiating with the clients, managing your travel expenses. A good agency turns you from a model to a professional model. They build your profile, connect you with the top people in fashion, and also place you internationally. Typically, you will sign an exclusive contract of 2.5 to 5 years with an agency taking 30% of cut from each job with 10% of the taxes. The biggest perk? Safety. If anything goes wrong, then your agent is there to handle it. Especially when you're new, you have no idea about what's going on. The type of support that you can get from your team is really important. To join these agencies, just go to their website and send in your Polaroids, the kind that I'm showing on the screen right now. Make sure that they're taken in a natural light without makeup and that you're wearing fitted denims and a tank top. They usually take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to reply, but if you don't hear back from them, don't get disheartened. Keep working on yourself, click your Polaroids and send it to them again. From my experience, some of the good agencies to look into are Anima, Feet, Purple Thoughts, Inega, Blunt Creatives, TSS Talent Management, Runway Lifestyle, and Aura Talents. I'm recommending these agencies because in my 3 years of modeling experience, most of the models that I meet on set are from these agencies, which tells us a lot about how active they are and what a good client base they have. While joining an agency is crucial, it's also very important for you to meet their team in person to figure out if their team is good for you in the long run. Always meet them in person, never sign anything online. Read the contract carefully and involve your parents if there's a requirement. This also builds your parents' trust on you and makes the agency more transparent with you. Ask as many questions as you want and never pay an agency to sign you. Remember, a good agency earns through you, not from you. If you're studying or have other plans beside modeling, it's better to discuss it with your agency because then they will be able to help you better. And the idea is to work as a team. Most of the contracts are fine, but some of the people find some clauses a bit restrictive, but they can always be discussed before you signing the contract. Remember to always check what type of brands these agencies are working with and how are their models working. Can you recognize these brands or do you want to work for them? Halima Eden, born in Kenyan refugee camp, kept on doing the housekeeping work even when she appeared on the covers of Vogue. For the next 6 months, she was also cleaning the toilets and also doing the modeling gigs because she didn't know if modeling would last or not. Most people would find it surprising, but it's a very smart way to stay financially secure in an uncertain industry. The early days of modeling aren't as glamorous as they look. There's no entry fees to join a modeling agency, but there's still so many expenses hidden in the background that people rarely talk about and that you have to pay attention to. You need funds for grooming, fitness, skincare, dermatologist, nutritionist, learning new skills, or maybe relocating to a different city altogether. Initially, your agency also might suggest you to get maybe aligners or some sort of beauty treatment, fillers, so that your look can be better. So you can expect your expenses to go up by 10 to 15K on top of the regular expenses that you already have. Of course, that also depends on the lifestyle and city you're living in, but having that buffer amount helps. If your parents can support you with the funds, then that's great. But if you're still a student and starting off, I would suggest you to get a job first that can help you with the funds. Because when I started, it was right after COVID, and both my parents had lost their jobs, and it was so tough for me to take that call of pursuing my dreams because I needed funds for that. So that's what I did. I did work from home jobs and side by side gigs to fund myself. And it was a good decision in a way that it also helped me to take wiser decisions, like changing the agencies or dropping the agency altogether, which was not providing me enough work, or relocating to the places that had more work. I continued working until modeling provided me enough steady income to sustain myself, focus on my growth, and also save enough for the months when there was not so much work and income. If you have a full-time job and thinking of leaving your full-time job for modeling right now, I would suggest you to not do it right away. Firstly, observe modeling for next 6 months to a year. Communicate this directly to your agency that you have a full-time job, and after a year maybe take a call. Remember, having your own money, it's about independence. It gives you a lot of freedom to take your own decisions, and once you're able to support yourself, your parents will also start to gain trust on you, and that makes things a little easier. Managing finances as a creative is not that easy because the jobs are irregular and there's always a pressure on you to look good, spend so much amount in your grooming and your skills, which does take a lot of money. But with the right planning and saving, you can manage it. Number 3 is essential skills to grow in modeling. In this segment, we are going to talk about a lot of things except posing and expressions, because I feel that when you work on these core skills, posing and expressions will come naturally to you. Fitness and stamina. Even if you have perfect model measurements, if you include activities like gymming, running, any sort of dance form or yoga, it helps your personality in such a good way without even you realizing it. Like having any sort of physical activity in your routine, it makes your body more fluid and more natural in front of a camera. Then you don't have to try to pose. It just comes naturally to you. Personally, dance really helped me in the beginning. It improved my body language, gave me a lot of confidence, and also made me a lot more creative in front of the camera. Forget about the expressions, become a character. One of the major reasons why I feel there's so much of client retention in my case is because I never really worry about expressions at all. I just go on set, study about their garments, colors, fabrics, and what character do they want me to bring alive today. I try to understand their vision and role play accordingly. And I can't tell you guys, like my body language, poses, personality, everything just flows in very naturally, and I don't have to try much. Initially, you might not know your angles properly because it takes a while to understand that, but keep practicing through Pinterest, do as much test shoots as you can, take the feedback from your peers, and most importantly, give your body and mind proper rest, because creativity needs space to breathe in, and if you're not balanced, you might be exhausted and that might show into the camera. Soft skills. People often underestimate this a lot, but do you know that even when you walk into a room as a model, people can already know about you without even you speaking? I feel in this segment, emotional intelligence is the key, knowing what to speak, when to speak, and how to communicate with the team properly so that your performance can be better and their performance can be better, how to keep the spirit of the team positive. Initially, I would just suggest that observe for the first few months that how things happen, how people are, network with everyone, because you don't know who will pitch you where, and where that contact can help you get the job that you wanted. Keep trying new things, explore different activities like aerial silk, Muay Thai, swimming, learning any musical instrument, bike riding, mountaineering, anything, because you don't know when these skills would help you to get the next big project. A sports brand might look out for a model who knows how to do boxing, or a brand who's shooting for cars might look out for someone who knows how to drive. This has happened with me once when I was learning a specific dance form, and there was this one brand who approached my agency that needed models who knew how to do that dance form, and that's how I got my first big TV commercial without even having much experience as a model. Number 4, how to get out of a rut. Honestly, I feel this phase of confusion and doubt hits the hardest in the beginning, but it keeps coming back in a model's journey again and again. Every time you take a break, you feel lost again. And that's all right, because there's no formula to crack this path. It's always trial and error. Sometimes no agency would sign you up, but still you get really good work as a freelancer, and you might establish yourself as a good brand that you don't need any agency. And there are times when every agency would want to sign you up, but they might not be able to provide you enough work. So if you're stuck in the beginning, try these steps that I've already mentioned in this video. And honestly, please give it time. Like, it takes from at least 6 months to a year to see that if the agency is working out for you, and almost a year to see that if modeling is for you or not. So you have to be patient and give it specific amount of time that it needs to learn, to grow, to perform. I know a lot of models who have such good faces and who could have done so well in their respective fields, but they couldn't, because either they gave up too soon, or they kept on switching the agencies, or they left the agency too soon. And in the end, I would just like to say that always have plan B, because no matter how hardworking and passionate you are, modeling is not something you can fully rely on right away. If you will be financially stable, you'll be able to work with a free mind without panicking in situations where things won't go as planned. If after 2 years you don't see the results that you want, then slowly start shifting your focus to something else and keep modeling on the side if you really enjoy it. Even for me, it took me at least 4 months to start going out on the castings, and 6 months to get booked for a shoot. And it almost took me a year to get booked regularly for shoots. And everyone's graph looks different, so you cannot compare that. Here's the truth. Even if you don't win, you don't get booked for the jobs, you don't get signed with any agency, you still grow. Modeling teaches you presence. It makes you into someone who people will notice the moment you enter into the room. And that's powerful. But yes, acceptance won't always come from people who are closest to you, like your family, friends, or maybe your relatives. But understand that they see life from a very different lens, and they might not immediately understand what you're trying to do. But when they'll start seeing you doing well, they'll automatically be happier. So their doubts shouldn't hold you back right now. Don't wait for the perfect skin, perfect timing, perfect body. Just start it right now. Jump into the water right now and figure it out along the way. That's it. That's all I wanted to share in today's video. I also just want to put it out there that this channel isn't just about modeling. It's more about growing into the bestest version of yourself with me in terms of beauty, finances, fitness, health, and mindset. If there's anything specific that you would like me to cover, please mention it in the comment section below. And I'll see you in the next video.